Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Top 4.
Top 4.
As you can see, my good friend Mike Manny has flown in and is hanging out with me in my dojo today. And we also got with us Tommy. How you doing, Tommy?
Doing okay. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing excellent. Josh, how you doing, brother?
Top 4.
Top
Wait.
4.
Yeah, no, I'm doing fine.
Today we're doing Top 4 underwater movies, and it took me a couple of minutes to really think about how many underwater movies I like. Mike, you like underwater movies, right? Yeah. Yes, and
Yeah.
that's what he did. I can't remember the name of mine, so I'm hoping someone mentions it.
1,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
It's not. Well, I love that one too. That's another good one.
The Poseidon Adventure.
It was not. I like the Poseidon Adventure too.
Oh,
That's another good one. I wasn't thinking of.
Fantastic Voyage.
No, that's kind of underwater.
Herbie Goes to Paris.
Herbie Goes to Paris was not in the mix. We'll start off with Tommy. Tommy, what's your favorite?
I'm going to go with Aquaman. It takes mostly place underwater.
Okay, that's a fine movie. I wouldn't put it as one of the greatest underwater movies of all time because even my second choice, like the Poseidon Adventure, seemed like cooler than that. But I enjoyed the movie.
It was great.
I liked
I
it.
agree with LT.
I
Really, but
like
is that
the first one.
I liked all of them. I didn't dislike any of them, but it's not something that comes to mind when I think of underwater movies.
Wait, when you say all of them,
It's got
they made
everything.
another one?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
Josh, you don't have to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not well received, but I liked it. Josh,
Okay.
what's your favorite underwater movie?
I mean, yeah, I gotta say it's The Abyss.
The Abyss is a terrific movie.
It's good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Scary,
yeah,
scary
drink.
movie.
I mean, Mike started drinking for me back there.
That was my first.
I mean, yeah, just a very well done movie with a lot of different elements in it, right? So it's got just the horror of just being in the crushing depths when something goes wrong, right? And then you've got the subplot of the rescuers also having the pressure dementia and going crazy, and then first contact with aliens, like what? And
the threat of a nuclear war.
and the threat of the threat of a nuclear war, and somehow meshes that very well into a single, for science fiction, believable and demonstrably technical plot line with good acting and just believable effects. It's
Yeah, the
It's one of
threats were created specifically for that movie. James Cameron
Yeah.
developed underwater filming for that movie.
for the film, yeah, just so well done. Covers a bunch of genres and holds up. Just great movie, man.
When's the last time you saw it?
Maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you see the extended cut?
I don't know if I have, but just a very enjoyable movie that covers a lot of ground and does it very well. Emotional, get a little teary at the end.
Mhm.
Like, just it's a great movie.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
A lot of good scares. I'm not a big fan of jump scares, and their scares were more psychological. There was a jump scare or two in there, but most of their scares were slow building, brooding scares, which I think is harder to set up. It is harder to set up.
lovely film.
Yeah. Mike, what's your favorite?
Well, Abyss was my favorite, but I'm going to go with The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, it's a good
That
one.
was
Always
another
love
good one.
Crazy Ivan.
Yeah,
Crazy Ivan, that's
I
right.
mean, he had a 50-50 shot. He just called it. Yeah, with confidence. He called it with confidence. It's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Sean Connery. Who else is in that one? Baldwin,
One of the
right?
Baldwins.
Alec Baldwin, is the Jack Ryan
It's
character.
Jack, yeah, it's one of So it's an early representation of Jack Ryan. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Is that the first Jack Ryan movie?
I'm
Yes.
fairly certain that is the first Jack. That's pretty
Yeah.
early on there.
Yeah.
Not the first. I don't think it's the first Jack Ryan book, though.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of those. All right, I'm pretty sure the one I'm thinking of is called Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue.
Deep Blue, that's it. Deep Blue.
Deep Blue.
And they had the sharks that were experimenting on. How did you not figure that giving sharks superhuman intelligence was going to go terribly, terribly wrong.
And why was that a problem you needed to solve?
Yeah.
Is that the one where Samuel Jackson dies in like the first 3 minutes?
Tommy, did Samuel Jackson die in the first 3 minutes?
That was pretty quick.
That's right.
But-
It's quick. Okay,
but-
3 minutes might be an exaggeration, but
In
he's
the
not in
first
the minute
half,
movie more than 10 for sure.
That was
But
pretty
for
quick.
a horror movie, it is one of the first times an African American character makes it to the end, and that is the chef. And I believe that was Ice-
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yeah.
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 Ice Cube. He was
Yeah.
the cook. He gave us a delicious omelet recipe, which I
did.
still use.
I still do put a splash of water in my eggs rather than milk. That's
Did-
he is not wrong.
I'm trying it myself. I used that omelet recipe from this stupid movie.
It's fluffier eggs and they
Yeah.
have a lower chance of burning. So if you forget the pan or you got to do something else, they can just sit in the pan a little longer, hotter while you get other stuff ready. It's a good tip for organizing your breakfast cooking,
All right.
especially if you burn your eggs a lot.
Is there nothing Ice Cube can't do? And he
Yeah,
also survived them.
certainly.
He's one of the like 7 people down there. I think only 2 survived. And I'm pretty sure he was one of the. I know he was one of the 2.
Okay.
But there are a lot of good notables. I'm going to do one that I don't think anyone thought of, and that is
Oh.
Piranha 3D.
Oh. You are correct. I did not think of that.
Nobody's thought of that since it came out.
That was a terrifically bad movie, but I loved it. Christopher.
Even the people who were on set watching that didn't believe it was 3D.
True. The 3D effects were not very good, but the humor was pretty good. It was a pretty funny movie. They made a
Okay.
campy movie out of Piranha, and it's a good campy movie.
Okay,
Who's the guy that played Doc in Back to the Future?
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd was
Yeah.
like a wacky scientist in this one who couldn't believe that these piranhas had survived the Paleolithic era, and he was experimenting on them. And he's like, I can't believe these. Look at the scars on him. He's been down there for decades, maybe hundreds of years, eating each other. Only the best had survived. This is bad.
I have a notable second, Tom, and I can't believe you didn't pick this.
The Incredible Mr. Limpet.
Correct, Mike. Correct.
Damn it! That is a great underwater movie.
I totally thought you were busting. I specifically did not take the Incredible Mr. Limpet because I assumed you would take the Incredible Mr. Limpet.
You know what? If it had come to the forefront of my frontal lobe, I definitely would have picked it. Don Knotts was never funnier. It's one of the few movies where Don Knotts gets laid, for God's sakes.
As a fish.
As a
yeah.
fish,
That's
but
a fish,
still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better Don Knotts movie out there. Also, he's the hero. He saves a bunch of World War II submarines
Yeah.
by echo projecting. It's a great movie and a dumb movie, but a great
No,
movie.
it's a great movie. You don't have to go
It's a
any
great
further
movie.
than that.
Yeah.
It's
It's a great movie.
Yeah, a great. The animation's terrific too.
And for it at the time, combining live action with animation, it was really kind of cutting edge in special effects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's a fun movie. I'm gonna watch that this week. Thank you, Josh.
Mike. Yeah. Mike caught it. As soon as I said it, Mike caught it. He was thinking it. He was there.
I love Don Knotts. Tom, you got any notable notables?
For TV show Sequest.
Sequest was pretty good. I like Sequest. I didn't get super into it, but I watched a few episodes. Watch Sequest?
Yeah. I didn't have a TV at the time, Sequest.
Oh. What was the cartoon? Aqualab 3000. That was kind of fun. I did like. We didn't mention it, so I'm gonna go back to it. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the original Disney one. Totally love that movie. Kirk Douglas was never funnier or wackier than that. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of wacky roles. So Kirk Douglas being kind of wacky, and that was kind of a jarring.
I
Fun.
honestly don't remember that. Like I can conjure nothing from that film. Nothing.
He made a ukulele out of a seashell, and he would be hanging out in the treasure room, but secretly he was filling up the ukulele with treasure and sneaking it out that way. It was just kind of fun.
It's fun.
It was a fun movie for me. And oh my God, did I want to do the Nemo ride, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at SeaWorld, and not SeaWorld, at Disneyland.
It was awesome when I was a kid.
Oh my God. I was very poor, and we'd see it on The Wonderful World of Disney when they would show you the park, and I would just go mad thinking about how cool that had to be.
It was until I was an inquisitive kid, until you actually like jammed your head to the glass and looked up and realized you were still like a foot from the surface.
Oh,
But-
inches really.
It's yeah, this is right over the glass. But
Yeah.
no, it was a great ride. I think that and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride were some of my favorites at Disney when I was a kid. And we only went the once after my grandmother died. That's like a I'm sorry we let your grandmother die trip.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
I take that.
yeah.
I've had plenty
Okay.
of people die, and I didn't get shit.
Yeah.
I like that ride so much that I would pretend I was on that ride when I was at Riverside doing the jungle ride, which, by the way, was not a bad ride.
No, Riverside was pretty good when we were kids.
All right, but there are plenty of other underwater movies out there. We have only scratched the surface. Poseidon Adventure was great too.
You didn't mean to do that.
Scratch the surface. Good on you.
Yeah.
Come on.
If you have one that you want to talk about, you can just put it in the comments below. Click that like button. Hit this button over here, which I think gives a jolt of electricity to our net. Something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening to us rant and rave about our 4 favorite underwater movies. And if you have a suggestion for a top 4, you can put it under there too. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah.
Get off your
And if
lazy-
you're interested in our Aquaman movie review podcast, you can go over to Longbox, guys, wherever you get your podcasts, and search for our Aquaman episode. I don't know which number it is.
I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
We have 3 Aquaman episodes, so
At
if you're
least.
really big into Aquaman.
Yeah.
They're your guys.
We're so into Aquaman. Later on tonight, we're going to be talking about a lesser-known underwater hero called the Flying Fish. You can
Human
look
flying
the
fish.
human, flying fish.
flying fish.
You can look for that wherever you find podcasts, including Podbeam, iTunes, wherever you go.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Ubiquitous is the word you were looking for.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Everywhere you go is the same thing.
Everywhere you go is fine.
And thank you very much for the long box, guys. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
God's hands. Fish hands.